Hi guys, so earlier in the week I posted something about Soweto Towers. A lot of you were surprised to hear that the towers don't belong to anyone from Soweto. They don't belong to government. They actually belong to a white guy. And most of you were like, can't believe it, but I can understand why a lot of people were just in disbelief and just in awe over that fact. It's simply because for those who don't have the background, Soweto Towers are the main symbol that represents Soweto. Soweto Towers are the key symbol. Not even Mandela's face is a bigger symbol compared to the towers. When you think Soweto, you don't think Mandela's face, but the towers will pop up. Even a kid or just an artist from Soweto with an artistic expression of Soweto will feature the towers at some point. You know what I mean? So the towers resonate with people's hearts. We as Sowetans identify with the towers as if we are part of the towers and the towers are part of us, because nearly absolutely everywhere in Soweto, wherever you are, you turn around, you would see the towers. They're the highest structure in Soweto. And I don't think it's a white thing. I'm not pointing out that no, it's owned by white people and people must now all of a sudden just um, hate the fact that the towers are owned by a white person. But I'd like us to address the truth. And the truth around this matter is that not only with the towers, with pockets of land around Soweto are now emerging to be white owned. And that baffles me. That baffles me because the key property in Soweto is all of a sudden white owned. You can go as far as Ndofaya. I mean, now there's Ndofaya Mall. You go back in the history, I interrogated that process a little bit. The place was, the property all of a sudden was white owned and a mall came up. What's going on? And when I interrogated the issue further across Soweto, there's more pockets of land that are white owned. Soweto Country Club. A lot of you will be shocked today to find out. Soweto Country Club, there's a guy called, an old white man called Kevin Anderson. His property is called Ivory Tusk Consortium. Kevin has taken Soweto Country Club to court, saying that that's his property, that's his land. He's even gone as far as building houses around the clubhouse, Soweto Country Club, just to show the amount of confidence or arrogance, depending on how you look at it, that he has, and he really doesn't care much. And he's taken. There's a court case that's active right now, and the court case is Soweto Country Club / City of Johannesburg versus Kevin Anderson / versus Ivory Tusk Consortium. Now, I don't understand how you have people who are not from Soweto having title deeds to pockets of land in Soweto when our grandparents, our grandmothers, Moditurum houses are Soweto. Abana the title deed. Our grandparents don't have title deeds to these houses in Soweto here. But we've got people with title deeds. I don't think, again, I want to emphasize, I don't think the enemy or the problem is with the white people in these pieces of land. I think the enemy, today, our enemy is not white people. It's not white people. Our enemy is the black people in the positions of power, our black people in government, our black people in positions of economic power in big business. I don't want to name them. I don't want to call them out by name because it's useless. I don't even want to give them publicity because not personally bantina. Those people are the ones selling the properties to people with enough money. Willing buyer, willing seller. That works for those with money, especially in places like Soweto. To grow our township economy in Soweto and other townships across the country, and the world for that matter, in black communities across the country, people with political power, especially those black people with political power, and in South Africa in particular, black people are the ones with political power. They're the ones occupying those seats. Overnight, they can build skyscrapers in Soweto. They can build proper economic CBDs. Central business districts can emerge in places like Soweto, in those very pockets that they're selling quick like this to these white people or white companies. And I'm not emphasizing white so that we can have a racial division. I'm just emphasizing white because it happens to be the truth of the fact and the truth of the matter right now in Soweto. So my plea to everybody is that I think it's time we get organized, especially in Soweto, because I like to speak for Soweto. I don't know much about other places' politics. We need to hold our government accountable. Mataimer athletes in Mogadi Range Rover. We need to hold them accountable. We need to hold politics accountable. We need to hold economics accountable. We need to hold ourselves accountable. We need to stop blaming government this, because those people have been given the opportunity to loot and to be corrupt, because there's no exercise of accountability, expectation from us, the people. From us. And why from us? Because politicians have somehow forgotten that we are the boss. We are the boss. SAPS, even the army, South African National Defence Force, who was all over here smacking people during Corona. You're forgetting that we are the bosses. We are the bosses. It's not a myth. It's what it is. All politicians are people. These people are just a bunch of administrators. They are like PAs, and we are the CEOs, and we are the directors. But somehow the script was flipped, and we were made to believe that these PAs are the bosses. These political people, they just PAs, man. They are our PAs. They must just go back to computer work and do computer work and make sure that the processes are in favor of us, the directors, so that when we eventually sit in a board meeting, half the time, the only time we sit in a board meeting is when we are voting during election time. But we need to sit in that board meeting regularly, not just during the time when we have to put an X to paper next to a name. These people need to remember that we are not just inactive bosses. We are there, and we must hold them accountable. When we give them our billions, our trillions to use and make sure that our places develop, our kids go to school, we need to be there. If it was a business, you need monthly reports, even sometimes weekly reports, depending, not just voting reports, so who won the elections, and they must now see what they do with 20 trillion, 20 billion, or 20 whatever. So, coming back to the agenda, Soweto Towers, not owned by the people that value the towers, owned by a guy called Nico. It's okay, but it's important for Nico and the Kevins and all the other guys who managed to acquire pieces of land in Soweto to also understand that a time is coming where we're going to interrogate the way you got this property. If it was from a sale, and we'll have to interrogate that process, and if there's any wrongdoing in that process, whether it's our government people who sold us out by receiving 100,000 just to give you a piece of property, acres and acres of land, or got 200, that land was going to be recalled, because we are not our fathers. We are not these chiefs and cadres and whatever they call each other. We are not those people. We are a different kind of breed in Soweto. We are a very, very different kind of breed. Upstairs works. So it's not political, it's not racial. That time will come, and that time is not far. It's not far at all. So that's the little background I was giving around why I emphasized and I shared the view that Soweto Towers is not owned by people in Soweto. So our pride and joy is very delusional more than anything. In closing, I'd like to say, let's get together. Let's share this knowledge. Let's share the facts that we have. Let's talk about this in different spaces. Let's change the agendas we speak about on a daily basis as young people. Let's talk about important things. You don't have to talk to me about it. You talk amongst yourselves. We make sure that we have progressive conversations with our friends. Arab Shapa, whether it's over Habli sessions, but let's talk about important things so that our community, our township economy can develop properly. Because we are the leaders of tomorrow. We are the leaders. Their time is up. Their time is gone. Their time is gone. And these politicians, our PAs, I want you to remember that there's many PAs who are in line to take the PA job. If you're tired of the job and you want to drive around in Range Rovers and fancy cars and pay big bills at clubs and whatever else, and you're just a political celebrity and not a real PA doing work for the people, we'll move you. There's many PAs dressed in different colors. You know the colors. There's some dressed in blue, some dressed in red, some dressed in... And we'll pick the best PA to replace the green PA if the green PA thinks that the computer work is boring. Go back to the desk and do computer work and make sure that you're working for the people and not yourselves. This is time for accountability. There's no other time. So I hope that this lands in the right ears and we make sure that we mobilize, we come together as a people and hold our peers accountable. They must just go back to the desk and do computer work. It's important. And it's also important that we come together. It starts with the songs, musicians, bafethu bokabza, yo bomaphorisa le bomamam bodondara. You guys have a big following. You need to change. You need to change what these kids are listening to. You need to start provoking intelligent debate, intelligent conversations. Let intelligence be part of our music. Intelligence. When you're listening to Pro Kid, even today you listen to Pro's music, you go homeschooled. It's a full lecture. That's why you could listen to Pro's intro till the last song. Because there's so much education, there's so much that resonates with your heart, with your soul, with your spirit, and the development of the people and the township. You could say Pro went to school and they were lectured by geniuses to socialism. People who subscribe to socialism, because everything they said, everything they did, whatever product they gave to the people, that product was designed and it was intentionally for the people. And it did good, because there's so many people that can comment now on this video to tell you that, listen, Pro's music took me through school. But these are conversations for another time. Right now, let's focus on the agenda of the day. The agenda of the day being Soweto. Let's get together, guys. It doesn't take a genius to change. It takes us to change. Let us be the change. Let us be the difference that we want to see. Let's do the right thing. Kaufela, Soweto, you know the story. Ayoba.